All right, so getting this note from a DoorDash customer will leave you very disappointed if you actually believe it. Drivers do not fall for it, and in this video, I would like to share with you a very common note customers leave for Dashers, including the one I received yesterday. Why would they leave such a note? And we're going to end finally with why you should never fall for it. Okay, so I was working yesterday and I got this order. It was easy, simple. I get to go do the delivery, and the note, it says, hand it to me. And then it says, ring top bell. I have cash tip. Okay, I've been through this so many times, I can't even begin to count. Now, it can go like 50-50 chance, right? 50% chance that they'll give me a cash tip when I arrive or not. In my experience with doing this over the years, 90% of the time, there is no cash tip whatsoever. Now, your percentage goes up if it is a hand it to me customer because maybe they're waiting to meet you at the door. Maybe. So what do? I go and deliver this customer's order, ring the top bell. She's actually waiting for me. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's a possibility. I hand her off. She's like, have a nice day, and slams the door. Yeah, definitely no cash tip. But here's the thing is I went into this delivery having literally zero expectations because, man, it happens so often. And we're going to get into really the reasons why customers do this to Dashers. Now, do they give them false hope? Yeah, they do. Is it for their own personal gain? Yeah, probably. So we're going to get into why you should never fall if you ever see a leave at door or hand it to me note just like the one I got yesterday. Why would a customer leave a note like this if it's not true? Honestly, I think they're just trying to get their food order delivered quicker, or they're actually trying to get it to their house, their apartment, wherever they reside. They might have gotten burnt in the past where their order never did arrive, and they think by putting this in there, they're like, well, at least it'll be incentive for my food to get to my house. Or they might think, well, if I put it there, my order might get there quicker because, hey, what driver is not going to want a cash tip, even though I'm really not going to give them one? Is that crappy? Absolutely. It's a little scammy if you ask me because you're giving drivers false hope. So, customers, if you're watching this, a little bit of literally a tip, pun intended. The way to get a driver to your house quickly is to take care of your driver in the app. Unfortunately, that's the way that the DoorDash app works. Now, there could be some really decent customers out there who really do believe in tipping their customers when they arrive. I have encountered that many times. I also know customers that do a little bit on the app, and when their food arrives, they do give even more to the driver because they didn't trust the DoorDash app. I get it. You know, but to me, those are few and far in between. I've had more of these notes where it didn't happen opposed to in the app that it actually did happen. Now, I had a really good conversation with a DoorDash customer probably about a year or so ago. And we were both waiting for our orders at a restaurant, and she says that she orders from DoorDash all the time, but she could never understand why her food always gets delayed because she actually gives a cash tip to the driver when they arrived. And then I explained how the tip worked. And she's like, I'll be honest, that kind of stinks because I want to make sure that the driver gets the tip and not DoorDash. Like, how do I know I can trust DoorDash to make sure you're getting 100% of what I'm giving you? And this way I ensure it. And they said, unfortunately, that's the reason why your food is getting delayed, because a driver only sees this dollar amount and not what you're intending to give them. And like a light bulb went off, and she goes, man, I'm just old school. And I also believe that, you know what, if I give you cash, you don't have to claim it on your taxes. I'm like, well, technically, I kind of do, but that's another story for another day. But I educated her on the whole system and the way DoorDash works. And I think sometimes customers don't even realize that's how it works, and it could be in the mix as well. Unfortunately, a lot of the customers who put these notes, that really isn't the case. And that's where the disappointment really comes in, and where there is just such a discrepancy of drivers going up to these people's houses because of what they put in their notes. So why should you as a dasher never fall for notes or have these expectations like, yes, I'm going to go and get some cash today? Yeah, you're going to be disappointed. And I never want anybody going into something with false hope, because here's the reality. The reality is 90% of the time, it's not going to be there. It could have been an old note that she never erased, and she decided to tip in the app opposed to giving it when the driver arrived. That could have also been another possibility. But I just don't want anybody to fall for some of these antics, because I don't want to quite say they're scammy, because they're not, unless they have an ulterior motive of getting their orders delivered, which they think it could come quicker. I don't think that honestly has a thing to do with putting that in the note, but the customer might not know that. So customers, if you're listening, putting that in there does not make your food arrive any quicker than it normally would. Honestly, if you want to get your food quickly, take care of your driver and they will take care of you. That's kind of unfortunately how the app actually works. But going back to these notes that we see all the time, I always say, be realistic. What is the saying? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hopefully I said that correctly. And I feel like this is another one of those scenarios that would fit here. Because if you go into it like, yes, I'm going to get more money, they're just going to be mad walking away from that customer's house and go, what the heck just happened? What the heck just happened is the customer just decided to put in that note, and it is never going to happen. So let me know, have you received these notes often? What do you think about them? Do you think you're actually going to get a cash tip, or do you go into it thinking, nah, it's not going to happen, and just kind of chalk it up to another ridiculous customer note that they just left for the driver? Speaking of customers doing some wacky things, man, there are some frustrating things that customers ask drivers to do. Well, you're going to want to check this video out next, because I think we can all relate to it, and I'll see you over there.